So he has several grandkids, and there is evidence to show that these children are actually his grandchildren. That if he has the evidence that he's a grandchild, this person is a grandchild, is ready to take responsibility for the upkeep of that child. But in the case of Anno, they have done tests more than once to clear the fact that it's not Davido's child. And when there was suspicion that raised that it's possible it's not Davido's child, but it's the child of Davido's cousin, B-Red, they also did a DNA test, two DNA tests, which shows that it's not B-Red's child either. So the evidence has been there to show that this Anno is not their child. It's not their child, it's not their grandchild. But because of the appeal that was made by the auntie of Anno, that okay, that is not related to their Adelekes, but the child needs help. The mother needs help. And so the Davido's father, out of his own magnanimity, out of his own generosity and goodwill and kindness, offered paid school fees, offered scholarship to the child's mother, offered opportunities to the child's mother so that the child's mother can stand on her feet, get employment, and then be responsible to take care of Anno. It's a long video, 1 hour 18 minutes, where Davido's father, Deji, was talking. This is somebody that this is a billionaire who is wealthy, quiet person who minds his business. So he doesn't come on social media, he doesn't do social media, he doesn't give press conferences and all that. But he was forced, considering the level of assistance he has given to Anno's family and to Anno, even though he knows that it's not Davido's child, but he has gone out of his way to offer assistance to them. An assistance which is not the grandmother of Anno seemed to have taken his generosity for granted, and felt that, because of his kindness is being taken for granted and all of that. So it's just so sad. When I watched the video, and I just feel for the Deji Adeleke, the billionaire, because if you watch it, he has been he has shown great kindness and responsibility. This one is not his child. They are not saying he's the child of Deji Adeleke. They are saying he's his grandchild. He could have said, Davido is my child, but if he wants to live his life like that by impregnating different women, that's his business. He didn't do that. Anytime Davido comes and says, I have a child somewhere, he goes to find out if it's actually is Davido's child and takes responsibility for their upkeep. He doesn't mind. When you just see people that are good like this, sometimes you just wonder, somebody who is calm and cool, collected and responsible like Davido's father, you now have children going around impregnating people, and then the father has to take responsibility for everything. But still, instead of saying, I'll cast this my child is misbehaving, I'll cast them away, he has a large heart, and he provides a home for his children and his extended family and all of that. I'm just so sad. Paternity fraud is a thing, and we've talked about it. Paternity fraud is a thing. A woman gets pregnant, and the woman knows that this person is not the father. But the person who is actually the father, if feels the person will not be able to take care of the child, feels the person, maybe the person is not doing a good job or something, then if she happens to be a friend or happen to have had sexual relations with someone who is more responsible or somebody who is richer, we just put the child on that richer person. That is the child of the richer person. They will not claim that, oh, this child belongs to the person that is not working or doesn't have a good job. You say, they are Adelekes, they have money, they are billionaires. You think she would say, oh, it's not Adeleke's child, it's the child of a banker, someone who may be struggling, 9 to 5 job, you know? So, paternity fraud is a thing where women would say somebody is the father of their child when they know for sure that the person is not the father. And then you have this innocent man, or this man, let me not use the word innocent now, because he also bears responsibility in a way for having unprotected sex and all of that. This person goes about taking care of another person's child until years later they do a DNA test and find out that it's not even his child. Hey, what a world we live. So, the way paternity fraud happens is that you have a man having unprotected sex with a lady. They could be in a relationship or it could be a casual friendship, but they have unprotected sex. And then the lady gets pregnant. And lady comes and says, I'm pregnant. Some would accept responsibility and say, okay, since I've had sex with this lady, it's likely my child. Some will even go ahead and marry the person and marry the lady on account of the pregnancy. But unknown to the man, unbeknownst to the man, there is someone else. As she was having sex, unprotected sex with this man, they had unprotected sex with someone else. Sometimes the lady may not know which, who got her pregnant. Sometimes it happens, they don't know. But at other times, they know because of the timing of it. Because you can calculate how old the pregnancy is from the last time she saw her period. You can go and do a scan, after some weeks of pregnancy, where the scan can tell you how old the pregnancy is. So knowing how old the pregnancy is, you can use it to know the period during which you likely got pregnant. And you may likely know the person you slept with that period. So in some instances, as I've said, they may not know who is responsible. But in other cases, they know. And now, when they know that, oh, this person may be, say they have a number of partners, sexual partners, and they are now pregnant. Now, it's possible they know, oh, this someone is not the father, but that person that they want to pin the pregnancy on, they want to put the pregnancy on, the one they will name as being responsible, it's likely somebody that is more responsible, somebody who has a job, somebody who is likely to take care of the pregnancy, take care of the lady, the pregnancy, and take care of the baby is born. So you have that situation. So the common scenario where paternity fraud happens is common scenario. If it's a lady, she's not married, she got pregnant, and she has more than one sexual partners, and then she pins it on the person she knows is more likely to take care of her and the child, even though she knows that the person is not responsible for it. That's a common scenario. So, in the first place, for a man, if you're not ready to have a child, you're not ready for your lady to be pregnant, you should use, if you must have, if you can't abstain, you should use condom. You should have protective sex that can prevent pregnancy. Because if the woman gets pregnant and the pregnancy is being kept, you know, it's difficult for you to now say you are not the one responsible. Because while the woman is pregnant, you know, it's usually DNA test is done when the woman has delivered. When the baby is born, that's when DNA test is done. You know. And then at the point where the baby is born, several months of pregnancy have taken place. So the family of the lady would want to know who is responsible, you know, and all that. So that is there. So a man should not have unprotected sex to avoid the issues of pregnancy. I made a video about that. Now, for the lady, there's a scenario that takes place. A lady will be in a defined relationship, marriage or courtship, or in a relationship where they are not married. There's no official marriage this thing, but they are together and they're having kids. Now, if the man is a busy person, he travels a lot, he has his job that takes him far away, or is a football star, like it happened, a Cameroonian player whose two children were not his own. You go and play ball, goes away, and some people have this thing, they'll keep the wife at home, keep the wife in the place where his own family lives, or where her family lives, far away, you know, and then he lives somewhere else. So you have that situation whereby it's possible that some people in that kind of relationship, because they don't have the companionship of their husband, end up having affairs, and that affairs leads to pregnancy. So for somebody who is married that have an affair and she's pregnant and she wants to keep the pregnancy, it's very unlikely that she will say the pregnancy is not her husband's son. It's likely to say he's likely to tell the husband that she's pregnant for him. Especially if the husband comes once in a while and, you know, they've had sex, you know, so you could easily explain it that way, you know. So that is why you end up having paternity fraud in marriage or in stable relationship, where the man is not always around, and the woman plays around, has affairs, gets pregnant, and just tells the husband I'm pregnant. The husband assumes it's my own, you know, so you can have that scenario. Now, even people who are married who are not having an affair, there are times a woman has some children and she doesn't want to have kids soon. We always encourage go for family planning. If you don't want a pregnancy to happen, you go for a family planning. Even for those who are trying to uh, you don't encourage playing around, you don't encourage infidelity, but for someone who wants to ensure that there's no pregnancy, you don't want to carry a pregnancy for someone else, and you don't want the husband to take responsibility for a pregnancy that is not his own, to avoid issue of paternity issues later, wouldn't it be wise for such a person to be on family planning? You know, wouldn't it be wise if for any reason you don't want to carry pregnancy? Wouldn't it be wise to to be on family planning?